be in an amazing shape.
Yeah, that's definitely
the one
true.
downside is he doesn't have a whole lot of ways to deal with the turn 1 lackey. So if Timothy Thompson,
Tim Thomas?
Tim Thomas, no.
Doesn't he have a game tonight?
I have no idea who that is.
Bruins goaltender.
Oh, okay, fair.
It's all right. No one really watches hockey. We're not. We're pretty far south of the Canadian border here. So
a little bit.
Yeah.
If he's in the play, it could be really, really good for him.
Yeah, definitely. He has to win the play here, I think.
Right. Well, I don't think he has to, but I think that certainly helps out. Now, It looks like I see a D in Eric's hand. Ooh. Timothy is definitely on the play. Let's see if this is the vial or the lackey.
Yeah, and Eric Schild has Snuff Out, has turn 1 Liliana, and that's it to deal with the turn 1 lackey.
He can ritual out something.
Right. He can
either a Nighthawk or a Liliana.
Yep, a Nighthawk would do it too.
And there we do see the lackey.
Oh boy, Eric Schild cannot be happy about this.
No, he cannot. So he does lead off of the swamp. Does he have a ritual?
Looks like a
Thoughtseize.
And
that can get something out of his hand.
He would love to take a ringleader.
No, there's no ringleader. It looks like there is a pile driver, a vial,
a port, and a chieftain.
That port is going to be really relevant here.
Yeah, it will. The lackey will save Timothy Thomas so much mana every turn, and the port will just keep Eric Schild locked down.
And again, Schild has a deed, but he may not get far enough in the game to actually use it.
Right. I can't see if he has a Dark Ritual in hand.
Oh, and it looks like a Wasteland.
Oh, wow. Great draw from Timothy Thomason.
Yeah, this is not looking as good as I thought it would for Eric.
No, I think this is going to be a tough matchup for him.
Yeah. Especially he's going to be on if he loses this, he's going to be on the draw for 2 games.
Right. Well, on the draw for game 3, at least.
Right. Well, he's on the draw this one.
I see. Yeah.
So I think that I'm not saying he would win automatically on the play or anything, but
it would definitely help.
Yeah, I think the ability to your deeds are just so much better on the play. Your goyfs are better on the play. Really everything in your deck is just so much stronger. If he had been able to lead off the turn 1 Thoughtseize off for lackey, that would have really changed the way this match went.
Right.
And, though Timothy is a little bit out of gas here.
He is. He can only attack for 4 points of damage a turn, but the top of his deck, any goblin he draws is going to be awesome.
And he has a port, so
yeah.
Eric is not casting anything anytime soon. What Eric really needs to do here is either survive long enough to go land, goyf or something, or ritual out, Nighthawk, something in that range.
Yeah, he would love to have a ritual here. So port go.
Port that land.
Ooh, Eric Schild will not float it into his draw step.
Can't really do that anymore.
Nope, no more.
No mas. Out comes a Bayou.
And it's pretty important for Timothy Thomason to get Eric Schild as low as possible because he has cards like Snuff Out, cards like Sylvan Library, Dark Confidant. All these are pretty painful.
And Scavenging Ooze, is a card that later in the game can really take over, but and that Bayou's going to get tapped, and now he does have a Goyf in his hand, it looks like, but he needs a green source, and there it is.
Wow. So
out comes Tarmogoyf.
And Timothy Thomason has bricked on goblins the past 2 turns.
Yeah, he is going to try and stem the bleeding. They're doing the count right now, figuring out how big it is.
I believe it should be a 3/4.
I believe you are correct. Yeah, we get confirmation. 3/4.
Files in Sting Scourger.
Oh.
And that's lethal. So that was a quick game.
Yeah, wow.
Goblins just demolishes Eric Schild on the back of that turn 1 lackey.
Yep.
That play that went from amazing in Legacy to not so good to real bad to really good again.
Maybe good again. I mean, it's hard to tell exactly. We've not seen a lot of goblins. It's certainly in a much better position than it was not too long ago.
Yeah. The cyclical nature of Legacy just makes it rise and fall.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see which decks have gotten good and which decks got bad. Like a deck that I've seen, a little bit of at the Grand Prix has been Hive Mind.
Right.
Which is a deck that was it was very popular for a while, especially online, and then it got not very popular because it has a very bad matchup against Merfolk, and of course the Star City circuit for a long time there was a lot of Merfolk on that circuit.
Yeah, it was almost all Merfolk.
It was
for a while there.
Huge, and it was just almost an unwinnable matchup. And because of that, that deck went down, and now it's good again because there's no Merfolk.
Right.
So what else is going to change there? So now looking at sideboards, let's see. Timothy, He has Leyline of the Void, which is probably not worth bringing in here.
Nope, don't think so.
Cabal Therapy.
Could be okay.
Could be okay.
He didn't see a heck of a lot from Eric Schild's deck, and I think that maybe he won't know what to name, because the only cards he's seen, basic Forest, basic Swamp, meaning it's probably not a 3-color deck, Tarmogoyf, Thoughtseize.
Yeah.
So really, what do you name?
He has the Engineered Plagues.
Yeah. I don't think I like that card in Timothy Thomason's sideboard. What's he really bring that in against?
Merfolk.
Merfolk?
I don't think. Well, it seems like a good matchup for you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's something else that I can't think of. That he's elves. Maybe elves. I don't know. He's got 2 Chaos Warps.
Oh, and if you're not familiar with this one, I had to look it up myself.
Another commander card.
Yeah. 3 mana instant. The owner of target permanent shuffles it into his or her library, then reveals cards from the top. If it's a permanent, he or she puts it onto the battlefield. So,
right. So you basically you take like
a hard to deal with permanent.
Right. So your opponent plays a Engineer Plague, for instance.
Right.
A card that a Red-Black Goblins deck would have problems with. They put it on top of their library, shuffle it up.
Yep.
Flip over the top card. If it's permanent, it sticks. Otherwise, in the bin.
Yeah, and it's pretty good against these heavy blue decks with like Brainstorms, Force of Wills, only a few permanents. That's a great answer to Jace.
Yeah, actually, sorry, it doesn't put it in the bin. It just leaves it on top of the library.
Sure.
But yeah, so sometimes it's awesome. You get the Engineer Plague and they flip over a Force Will. Sometimes you get Emrakul. But hopefully you're not boarding in a matchup where Emrakul is relevant. So I don't see him really changing a whole lot here.
No.
He could bring the therapies, but I think that he just wants to keep his deck as aggressive as possible. The only thing he might bring those in just in case when he's on the play, just to try and get an Engineer Plague.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I think we'll see him board in some number of therapies, probably not all of them, because they're meant for more the combo type decks. So both players, I think, will change almost nothing. Eric Schild has absolutely nothing for the matchups.
Yeah.
Crows and Grips, Perishes, Extirpates, Chokes, Beast Withins. None of these do a darn thing against Goblins.
None of them are very good. I mean, Beast Within might do something. It's when you're on the play, it's a little bit better because you can stop some of the more crazy draws.
Sure.
But you still have to give them a 3/3. Now it's a 3/3 Beast.
Not a Goblin.
Much better than having a 3/3 Goblin. But
Yeah, I don't think we'll see Eric Schild sideboard at all.
Yeah, I can't imagine that. This was not the deck he was planning to play against.
No, this is probably among his worst matchups.
Yeah.
So
see, yeah, maybe. I don't think it's. I think that it's very dependent on who's on the play. Because I think that if he can stop that turn 1 Lackey, I think that he has a pretty good matchup.
Right. Looks like a Thoughtseize being cast for Eric Schild. Warden Weirding, Badlands, Wasteland, Ringleader, Incinerator, and the card that he took. Try and find that.
It was a Lackey, I believe.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Eric Schild would love to be able to take the Ringleader, but Lackey's way more scary.
It really is. And an Extirpate.
Huh.
I don't know that I would have, well, I'm not sure about that. Now, this actually is going to turn out pretty well for him.
Right, because
he can get he can take the Ringleader and Extirpate the Ringleader. And Ringleader is
the card.
Huge in this matchup. The 2 cards that are really important are Lackey or Vial, but mostly Lackey and Ringleader.
Right, the Ringleaders are just Timothy Thomason's source of card
But
advantage.
he does not have a second land.
Wow. And Port.
Upkeep,
Port
is,
you.
and he gets
Eric Schild didn't extirpate the Ringleader there, huh?
No, he didn't.
That's pretty surprising to me. It seems like that's the card he's most scared of.
It does, and maybe, well, it's actually not bad to not do it there. You have time to wait.
Right.
Because he has to have 4 mana.
That's true.
And you want him to actually draw Ringleaders.
Okay.
Like, ideally, that you wait until he's played his 3rd land. After he draws in that next turn, you extirpate them. It's not a huge percentage that he's going to have drawn to the Ringleader, but in a match like this, every little percentage like that helps.
I can understand that. At the same time, though, it seems like the 1 mana that you save might be more valuable. But either way, it doesn't cost him
Well, he
here.
doesn't have a hole at the cast Willows.
So main phase extirpate for Eric Schild. Doesn't not wait for the draw step.
Yep, and I definitely like waiting for the draw step.
Yeah, it's just
It's
a better play.
Yep. Just one more card.
We'll see if it was the top card here when he flips through. If it was, he'll feel silly.
There's 1, 2.
Oh, and there's a Chaos Warp.
Yep.
He did side that in. Number 3.
There goes number 3.
Was not on top.
Wasn't up. But he also would know, if you waited another turn or two, he would know.
Look,
A better idea was in Timothy's hand, too.
that's true, too. So now Timothy Thomason left only with Warren Weirding, Incinerator, and a pair of lands.
Yeah, so if Eric can get a green fetch, he gets out of forests.
Yeah, he'll be in great shape.
He's in pretty good shape. He also has a sinkhole, which I imagine will take out that port if it ever gets a chance.
Yeah, if he ever is able to get up to 2 here during his main phase. Doesn't look like he has yet.
He is not going to be able to do a whole lot this game with all those Warren Weirdings, but, Timothy doesn't have a lot either.
Exactly. If Eric can get out something like a Sylvan Library at this high life total of 616 that he's at, he'll be able to, actually no, not 16, less than that, 14. 2 Thoughtseize and 2 fetch lands. Be able to draw an extra card or 2. So another port. Wow, locked down.
Wow, this is going pretty slow now.
Timothy Thomason will have to deal damage to his opponent eventually, though.
Yeah, he's going to take his time. Not in a rush.
Nope.
And the Wasteland. Oh, and there's the Lackey.
The simple 1-drop is so much more.
He's going to tap down. Yep, tap down his lands. Another Swamp.
Wow.
He really needs a green source, though. He doesn't have a hole to cast it right now. Even to cast Tarmogoyf, it's just going to get Warren Weirding.
Right.
The very unusual Goblins control matchup.
Yeah, this is really strange. This is something like turn 7, and life totals 14 to 19.
As you noted, Eric only has 4 swamps in his deck, and he's drawn one of them.
Yep.
Fetched for 2 of them.
The only lands he doesn't really want to draw are Urborg, the 4th swamp, and that's about it.
Yeah.
He would be fine with any other land. So we'll see what Goblin Timothy Thomason has to drop into play. Oh, none of them. It gets snuffed out. Eric Schild paying 4 life for that. Goes down to 10. Pretty unusual choice of removal for Eric Schild. Snuff out.
Well, I think that maybe.
It's just so much life loss in this deck.
It is a lot of life loss, but I think that in most matchups you're not that concerned about that. And he just still is not drawing the ability to cast any of his spells.
Right, he can sinkhole.
Yeah, he's probably going to get rid of one of the Rashadan ports.
Yep, that'll get him out of the lockdown a little bit, but being at 10 life, all self-inflicted, he's going to die pretty quick to that War Chief, especially if
anything Timothy draws.
Exactly.
At this point, he might just play the Incinerator.
Yeah, I would.
Yep,
he has 2 Warren Weirdings.
Yeah.
So port to the bin.
He's going to get hit for at least 4 this turn.
Ooh,
a
Matron.
Matron. That Matron is going to go get, I imagine, a Pile Driver.
Pile Driver, yeah.
And that's going to attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, taking him down to 2.
Yep, Pile Driver will be a 5/2. Combined with the 3 damage, we'll put him at 2.
And
now Eric Schild.
The only thing that he can draw that will keep him in this game at this point is a Vampire Nighthawk. Well, Vampire Nighthawk doesn't going to do it either. He has
no, there's a
much
Warren
no outs.
Weirding.
Yep.
Let's see, 4 Rituals and 2 Engineered Plagues. That'd do it.
If he had Plagues, I could do it.
Yeah, and there's the Nighthawk, but that's just going to get weirded away.
And since that is not a Goblin, it will not produce 2 Goblins.
Nope. And that's the game.
Yep.
Timothy Thomason.
There's some confusion. He thought that you just got 2 Goblins.
Oh, I see.
That is not how that works.
No. Warren Weirding, an awesome card in the Goblin deck.
Yeah, it's great, and it gets tutored up by Matron.
Yeah, exactly.
If you ever need it.
For Ringleader.
It does. It does.
No Tarfires, though.
Yeah, I don't think you'd ever want to play Tarfire.
No,
doesn't kill much. Nothing you care about, really.
You'd play one to Matron up, I suppose.
Well, when are you going to get Tarfire, though?
When you're facing down a Dark Confidant?
I don't think you care too much about Confidant.
Probably not.
You just, get their face.
You can Tarfire their face. Play your Wart Boggart into. But, yeah, Timothy Thomason moves to 3-0. Eric Schild drops to 2-1. With his interesting take on Green-Black Rock, I like it, but I think the archetype still has a little work.
It
still needs work.
Well, I mean,